It will be really interesting. Thank you very much, Tim, that we start recording. It will be really interesting and I'd rather say historical moment because we will discuss conditions of our validators, everything which is related to connecting and to start work of validators. Before I will start, before I will share with you our presentation, I want to put attention to one important moment. We all the time, since the very beginning of our project development, announced that one important part of this functionality. It's the fact that our validators will be completely in the line with the development of a software in which this validator offer or validator functionality will be available for everybody, independently from the level of technical competence, the experience, the skills, etc. And in the very beginning, maybe this validator's interface will be not 100% intuitively understandable, but step by step, we will do all possible from the side of our UI UX team to make a validator's tools as easy as usage of iPod. It means really simple, couple of buttons, but something need to be started. In the very beginning, we need to start from at least something. And of course, for us, it will be really important to have a lot of feedback from the side of first validators, from the side of our community, and we will be appreciated for that. What will be in the end of the story of validators interface usage? First of all, it will be a software that possible to be downloaded both in mobile devices, Google Play and iOS App Store, on a web page in any standard ways of cooperate with the different interfaces. So it will be both on a web app and on a mobile version of this work as well. It is important. Why? We want to have really big number of validators. I'm not hurry up to showing you presentation. We decided to convert all this heavy technical documentation into the form of presentation because I want to highlight we have in the blockchain technology one of the biggest mathematical challenge, not only mathematical, but logical, physical, let's call it this way, even physical challenge. It's to make a balance between to be fast and to be massive from validator's point of view. Unfortunately, this is a rule, not rule, but this is a normal logical conclusion. The less number of validators you have, the faster blockchain you can build. But it was before us, because we will, in our work in 2026, we will confirm that it is possible to build a fast blockchain with the almost unlimited number of validators. Why I'm saying unlimited number of validators? Because I'm more than sure that our community will be successful in work with the validators question, but validators role, it's quite interesting quest for the users. It's not as simple as I don't know, usage of any other software in your life. If you became a validator, you need to work as the validator every day. And it means that it requires certain level of organizational skills. First of all, your own internal organization. It means to be full of discipline. And then you definitely may receive quite essential effect and quite essential results. This is my experience. Normally, when we have even completely successful from the community development point of view project, number of validators, even from hundreds of thousands of users or even millions of users, not too much, because you need, first of all, to be self-organized person, completely concentrated on receiving of these benefits or these results, to be uh, able to execute regular activity, and then you will be successful as the validator. We will talk about this a lot of time in the future, but let's remind, validator is not a passive role. This is the first. We still have a plan to implement two different levels of validators, so-called activated validator and passive validator. But right now, today, we will talk about the first layer of validator's work, and this layer, it's validator itself, the one that, the only, yes, let's call it this way, the one, the only, the active validator. All right, as usual, I will switch off my video because I do believe that you prefer to listen and to see the information more than my face. And let's go to our presentation. Okay, validator framework on our blockchain built. Uh, First of all, I need to comment a couple of technical things. Built on in different places in two different languages, Rust and Go. Why it is important? Because this is a light version of code. And it means that whenever you see some of the functionality that looks like heavy and complicated, don't worry about that, because all these things are completely possible to be implemented with the normal level of pressure on the system and without damaging the speed of our blockchain. Our blockchain, iPod, will be fast, speed, like bullet, like formula, and completely secure and comfortable for validators. It's important. So here in this presentation, we will talk about integrated technical, economic, and governance specification. So today's topic of validators we will disclose in full extent. First, role of validators in BitTON.AI. In BitTON.AI network, it's a core participants responsible for maintaining the security, stability, and integrity of the blockchain. They perform next functions: validating and confirming transactions. This is the core function. Actually, without participation from the side of validators, it's not possible to build a blockchain, entire blockchain in common. Here is quite interesting and tricky thing. We received a lot of ideas or scenarios in which the work of validators could be replaced by some technical solutions like bots or artificial intelligence obsession or whatever. But we believe that the core functionality of the validator is to be a businessman, first of all, close to notary work. It's really correct idea. We don't want to make the automatization of the validators work in the direction in which work from the side of a human will be completely excluded because of two reasons. Reason number one, as the business, this business is able to be developed in the better way, in the bigger way. Second, and this way of the development could be in line with the generating of the most important fuel for our development, a feedback from the side of practical participants of the blockchain life. And that's really important. And the second, it's again all these questions related with the relationships of the control, because all technical environment is possible to be hacked, is possible to be somehow under the influence, under the management from the side of attackers. And if you are fighting against algorithms, it's one situation. But if you work with the people, it's completely different. It's interesting, sorry for my off-top mentioning, but from my point of view, I see a lot of common between the paradox of viewer or observers and the situation with validators. It's completely the same logic. Okay, then next, producing and signing of blocks. It's almost physical work, but really important. Participating in consensus, supporting decentralization in active form inclusively. It means that whenever validators see that some actions in his location or in his transactions really became strange, and any type of such type of the hypothesis can arrive, it's always necessary to be reported and determined and active position from the side of validators that economically motivated to be 100% decentralized. Really important. Then, contributing to protocol upgrades and development. It's important as well, not only on the level of our direct contact with the community and work with the feedbacks from the side of validators, but by the participation in DAO. We will talk about this a little bit later. A validator in BitTON is not only a technical node, but a full economic, governance, and reputational entity within the ecosystem. Interesting moment. It is completely possible in a quite short period of time in the future to have a validator's points even in the form of legal entities. I will explain these things a little bit more in details on our next corporate Zoom, but it's definitely brings to us quite essential advantages that never were involved and incorporated before. But step by step, let's move to the next slide. Two main consensuses that will be in the focus of work of validators. It's and you know this very good because we talk about this since April 2025. It's proof of stake or proof of stake and POS, let's call it this way, and proof of participation. Let me remind, proof of staking is the source how to earn money, and proof of participation is the source how to manage tasks. I will not dive into the description of tasks in each specific location because of because of the fact that for the purposes to start such type of the conversation, we need to be on the completely final stage of the validators environment implementation, and we will definitely have even separate session in different locations to check from the side of our team, work with the validators in different locations on the initial stage. So all 2026 will be completely dedicated, occupied by our active work under the implementation of work of validators in our blockchain. So that will be in the focus. Then proof of decentralization, our consensus that combined from the proof of stake and proof of participation VARP system and under the governance of artificial intelligence works good on the level of our stress tests and shows that cooperation with validators will definitely bring us a huge results, inclusively the price on native token development as well, because of the reasons that you will see a little bit later. And this is these reasons. For the purposes to have start of the work of validators, it is important to meet these requirements and to reach this minimum requirements for the stakes. that need to be connected to validators. So validator entry threshold and adaptive stake mechanism looks like this. So base entry conditions, minimum stake, 10,000 BTNs, 10,000. In case if our system will have below 50 active validators, minimum level of staking will be 10,000 BTNs. As soon as the amount of validators became bigger than 50, it means from 51 to 100, we will have 12,000 minimum level of validators stakings. From 101 to 200, it will be 15,000. From 201 to 320,000 of BTNs, and more than 300, it will be specially determined by DAO and specified algorithmically. Please don't hurry up to make calculations that 300 of validators multiply on 20,000, it will be 6 million of BTNs or something like that. I think that in reality, we will have something really close to the medium level of these tokens. And of course, when we're talking about the staking, we're talking not about the staking forever. It's staking for minimum lockup period of 180 days and unstaking cooldown period 21 days. So successful and technical and behavioral validation is important to keep the position of validator, and integration into participation score system, our VARP system, is important for validators to keep their position as validators. Of course, these actions will bring us a huge demand on BTNs, and the mechanic will create situation in which all the system of our blockchain implementation will be really effective, super effective from the native token circulation development. All right, these rules applies only to new validators. It means that if you as the validator became below 50 new active validators, you will have the minimum level of stake equal to 10,000. If you are 52nd or further on, you will have relevant level of the BTNs that necessary to be staked. Okay, existing validators are not required to retroactively increase stake. It means that your stakes remains the same. If you start with 10,000, you will continue with this 10,000. Recalculated every an epochs. If you remember, one of our previous workshops at which I explained how AI checks all the metrics. It's the simulation of all the story. And when we're talking about the story, we're talking about the long-term story that compressed into epochs. And this epoch is the full environment, inclusively actions of validators, potential users of the blockchain, businesses that join to this blockchain and start using of the nodes, etc. So that's important to keep and to be on track with this, and to stay tuned with all the updates that came from the side of our project. Maximum adjustment per period is less or equal to 20%, and all changes will be, of course, recorded on chain. The minimum entry threshold cannot be reduced below 10,000 BTN by algorithm or DAO governance. It means that even if we will start work of DAO and DAO will receive a proposal, and this proposal will be accepted as by the common number of people that take participation in votes, the amount of BTNs necessary for the staking will never be less than 10,000 of BTNs. All other things could be under the decision from the side of DAO, but never less than 10,000 BTN. I think that in the end of implementation, it will be situation in which users that trying to push the proposal to approve less than 10,000 BTN will not be able to proceed with this proposal ever. Therefore, be careful with this, because let me remind, DAO is BTN worth activity as well. It means that if you want to open a proposal, you need to spend certain amount of BTNs. If you want to take participation in voting system, you need to spend certain amounts of BTNs. Therefore, if somebody will try to make a proposal to reduce below 10,000 BTN, it will be just empty burning of BTNs from the side of this person, and these BTNs will never be paid back to such type of the active politic player. Let's call it this way. All right, let's move to the next important information. Participation score, or our VARP system, and validator status. PS is integrated measure of validator quality and participation, and it's based on ranges from 0 to 100, and is recalculated every number of epochs. Under this every number of epochs, we see at the first level 3 epochs, which is equal to approximately 2.5 quarters of a year. But all these processes will be really flexible. Why? Because in 2026, on a foundation stage, our main target is to teach AI to manage tasks, to optimize conditions, and to make a development of the blockchain in the completely effective way. Therefore, it will be really important to have constructive feedbacks from the side of our validators, and it will be possible to make the best product ever. So let's stay tuned, jump into this activity, and you will be definitely a rich person. Trust me. Then, what is necessary to be included into this scoring activity? It's uptime factor, of course, block production quality, governance participation, DAO activity, and absence of violations. It's quite important, short 5 points list, but this is one of the main drivers that brings your scoring into the higher level. And on the long-term distance, it will increase an effect, economical effect as well. All right, validator status and rights. Status, top validator, its PS range from 85 to 100 scores, and its maximum rewards and influence. Active validator, 70 to 84, and it's just full participation. Limited validator from 50 to 69, it's restricted rights. Some of rights will be not available. And penalized validator, it's less than 50 scores. It's temporary suspension. That's important to know. All these things, of course, after the call will be available for you in written form. We will send the request this in the form of PDF. If somebody needs, it will be this presentation as well. Let's move to the next. Rewards, slashing, and governance. Reward model. It's base reward, multiply on stake weight, multiply on PS multiplier. So this is the way how rewards will be accumulated. We will have video on the next week with the calculation of examples. So don't hurry up to calculate it now. It will be in the video form. And these examples we will discuss on our next workshop. I think with the eastern part of our world, or everybody who is able to wake up early, we can do this at Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central European Time. We will repeat this conversation about validators work because, again, I will to put attention all of you to this question. It's one of the most important question in the development of the project. Therefore, we will talk a lot about this. And all your questions, all your participations in AMA will be welcome from the side of our team. We will be happy to have all your feedbacks. All right. PS multiplier 0.5x to 1.5x. Sources: inflation, transaction fees, down incentives. All these things will be the common scope of the rewards that will be distributed between validators. Governance and DAO participation. Validators must participate in voting. The more participation in voting process, the better effect. Need to support protocol upgrades and submit proposals. Ignoring governance reduces your scoring. And that's the fact. That just need to be accepted. I want today to limit our conversation by the validators rules only, and to put your attention one more time to important fact related with work of the validators. Of course, validators could be somewhere in the future, if we will be in line with the predictions from the side of Elon Musk, replaced by people. But I believe that common human intellect and tight cooperation with our AI substation, the way how we all together will teach this AI substation, will bring us the best synergy. Why? Because sometimes people are able to find not obvious solutions. And sometimes participation from the side of validators that keeps this validator point like a business may be really effective for the development of the worldwide blockchain. Let's not forget that we are talking about the project with the possibility to be distributed, uh, implemented in all the countries all over the world. I don't think that any mathematical rules or algorithms are able to take into the consideration every small nuances. But people that live in there, people that inside the context are able to provide with the feedback. Sometimes not 100% structured feedback, but all these thoughts, ideas from the side of humans brings us a really important field of human collective decisions. And from this unique database, we will be able to generate the directions, trends that will bring all the project to the maximum possible level. From my understanding, this year we will see more than 300 of validators, and this blockchain will be the biggest news and the best viral effect in the world. Okay, let's make our workshops starting from today and for the future less heavy, lighter, and let's jump from our presentation to a couple of updates that we want to announce to you. about other directions, not only related with the validators question. Talking about the kilowatt, we are in quite active work from the legal point of view, and quite soon we will be ready. Not yet. Sometimes it requires time, but we are almost on the finish line, and I think next week we will be full of news from this side. The second about WhatsApp, we finished the one important stream connected to the visual effect, which really important. And next week we will be close to the implementation of the full size payment gateway, and we will have our next workshop 50% concentrated on the questions of validators work, and 50% on the work of WhatsApp and how exactly it will start on the first, what will be the timing in common. Next Thursday, we will represent our roadmap for 2026, and it will be sort of the way how to orient all our community members, what will be next. And I can make short spoiler, it will be a lot about the work of BTN Foundation. All right, right. Pavel, if you are with us and you can tell a couple of words about role of validators, it will be really great. Microphone is yours. Pavel? All right. I understand. Pavel probably will be not so effective in validators work. Yes, Coach K. And you celebrate because you are able to catch his position. Great, great. Let's go to our Q&A session then, and every and each your question will be commented from my side. I think that Pavel will join us later. He is here, and probably something with his microphone or his calling on the phone. First of all, Coach K, I see your raised hand, but let's check our chat, and if we have any questions from the chat, I will answer, and after that, Coach K, we will go to your question. Okay? So, about our chat questions that we have. Mhm. Really good question from Mr. Shadrach. This topic said that validators are responsible for the stability, security, validity of a blockchain network. What is the meaning of the word blockchain? Blockchain network. All right. Blockchain itself, this is a system, firstly created as the first precedent by Bitcoin blockchain. And an idea of the blockchain is quite simple. It's sort of a big notary house in which every next transaction could be described um, correctly storaged and kept for all the time forever, which means that starting from the moment when the blockchain technology arrived to our world, it is not so important to cooperate with banks because it's much better than banks. This is the way how to replace any money in the world if our people, our humanity finally will be brave enough to do such type of the things. And whenever we're talking about the blockchain network, it means technical system, a chain that connects between each other nodes and connects all these protocols about every next transaction into one huge network. It's not the same like a network of people, but really close to. It's a network of nodes and points that responsible for keeping these blockchain records in a proper way. So when validators works, they doing a confirmation of these transactions. It means that these transactions checked in terms of the beginning of the transaction, the code or the part of the chain, and the ending of the transaction. So that means the word of blockchain in these terms. We're talking about the technical level of the question, and that's really important because blockchain need to be completely clear and transparent. All right. What else? When we stake migrate our token over smart contracts to the blockchain during a time period of minimum 180 days, will they be given back or will they be burned? Of course, not burned. Oh my God, Natasha, no, not burned because I believe that so big pressure of the demand that we will have right after the start of the work of validators will create situation in which a burning process of native tokens of BTN on base or on our own blockchain will be really rare cases. And these tokens will be not a subject of a burning process. For validators, it's just 108 days lockup period, which requires from the side of the validators to be directly on the level of own assets involved into the building of blockchain work and to synchronize all these actions between the validators and users of the blockchain. Plus, let's not forget that when validators works with their nodes, with their points, validators points, they do receive remunerations because whenever somebody paying a gas fee in a blockchain, this gas fee goes to the validators for their works. So when I'm saying that validators, it's a business, I mean it. It's a really effective business. And you may compare this with the buying of franchise contract. You, for the purposes to have this ability to work under this brand, you need to deposit certain amount of assets, and then you will receive ability to work with this. So this is quite simple explanation. Okay, great. Should we be technically sound to be a validator? No, completely no. That's one of the core idea from the side of our project. Our validators interface will be as easy as it possible. And we will always develop this up to double click level in everything that validator will do. All right. I see that new questions from the side of Mr. Shadrach came to us, but let's go back to the question that Coach K tried to ask, because in time perspective, it was retrospective, sorry, it was first. Coach K, please unmute yourself, and I'm listening carefully to your question.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ivan. On behalf of my community, I say thank you. Thank you for taking your time to explain the development of our amazing project. The idea of this workshop is effective. You can't imagine the impact this workshop is having on our community. It's giving us a detailed understanding of the involvement of our amazing project. So I say thank you for a great work. Having said that, I have three very important questions I would like to ask. One, it has to do with the blockchain, our blockchain, the BTN blockchain, in relationship with the validator. We have not launched our blockchain officially, but I believe with the little knowledge I have, I think the work of the validators has to do with validating transactions on our blockchain. If we have not launched our blockchain officially, I believe we getting the structures of validators ready is in preparation for the official launching. By the official roadmap that you will be making available to us for 2026 by next week, Thursday, can you give us an insight of the official time for the launching of the BTN blockchain? That's my number one question.
Coach K, let me answer because for me, in the end of the day, taking into account that if you remember, start my working day really early on Vietnam and Thailand time. It's better to answer us question by question. Okay, so the first question. Thank you very much for this and for your good words about our work. We really appreciate it. You know it. Um, Blockchain plan to start still the March, and it means that till the end of first quarter of 2026, a blockchain BitTON.AI iPod will be started. So that's the current working deadline for the blockchain. We want to go through all the preparational work with our community, with our future validators before. And I will repeat why. Not only because we want to have already prepared validators that will start immediately, but for the purposes to collect feedbacks. And even before they start, to show everything, starting from the common rules that necessary for the purposes to maintain this blockchain and ending the way how this validator's interface looks like. Completely the same like we did with our web app. We will go page by page to show how it works, what you need to do. So all these things will be completely understandable even for people that don't have any technical skills, any technical experience. So that's the answer on your first question. Your next question, Coach K.
Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much. Now, looking at the minimum entry level of a validator of 10,000 BTN and a lock period of 180 days, when you say you're locking it, for example, looking at our back office, for example, is it going to be locked there or is it going to be removed totally? Is it going
No,
to be like the liquidity, how you become a liquidity provider? Or how is it going to work? Where will the token be when I become a provider, what they call it, a validator? And I'm willing to maybe I'm making 20,000 BTN available. Is it going to be deducted from my total balance? Where will this BTN be?
we have right now two basic scenario, and we still fighting between us and AI conclusions. And I think that till the end of current month, we will have the final result of this check. So one is a pure vesting process. It means that just log on your account, validator's account, without possibility to do anything with these tokens. Definitely not burned. Tokens will not be burned. If you became a validator, it will be locked, available for validator after the lock-in period. But one of the options that we consider is to have this lock of the tokens in the form of staking or a liquidity providing staking. But the second is still under the consideration. Definitely lock without moving of this token anywhere It means it will be not withdrawn from the site of the validator. It will be on the account of validator and on the specific wallets of validator that will be connected to validator's points. So that's important for common understand. But if it will be a staking with certain level of rewards, and if it will be a liquidity providing staking again for this period of time, it's an open question. We're still checking this. Let's stay in touch and you will receive an answer. And your third question?
Before my third question, let me say awesome, amazing, great. I think I owe you guys a gift for this. Let me say something. Because the solution you just shared with us, if every member of the ecosystem, every member of the community, sorry, can have a deeper understanding, we already have a total supply of 21 million token. Staking is creating more scarcity. The validator system is going to create a further more scarcity. Oh, this is awesome. Thank you so much, sir, for a great work. Let me go with my third question. The third question has to do with the proof of progress. We have the demand and supply of the market where we have liquidity. Then we have the proof of progress tokenomics in our back office. I believe at this time, I was thinking that there would have been a shift in price maybe to $3.38 due to what I was seeing in the term viewer. But however, you told us you were going to break down the understanding we should ignore what is going on the Tom platform because of some irregularities. But for the clarity of purpose and for the clarity of purpose of our community, you said you were going to give us a detailed breakdown of where we are in regards to the smart contract, the term viewer system, for us to know what is exactly available in the liquidity, what's available on the staking pool, so we can educate our people, because this is one of the questions that is always coming up, sir.
Okay, and we will do this. Definitely, we will do this because we were, first of all, concentrated on the work with this validator block and web app implementation that still on track, and we think that we will finish this weekend this type of the work. Let's make an extraordinary meeting, especially for the questions related with the tokens BTN in circulation. And I will explain on this because it will take, I think, maybe an hour of the conversation. I will explain what's the factors brings a lot of mess from the side of tone, in which cases they use wrong terminology that creates a lot of misunderstanding. I can tell you in this way. Right now, we have two blockchains at which our native token is in circulation. One, it's a Tone blockchain, and the second, it's Base blockchain. In all this blockchain, all over all the blockchain, total supply will never be more than 21 million, and we have enough tokens after the end of the seed stage for the purposes to start successfully foundation stage. And mostly these tokens located on the territory of the platform, because people prefer to use this token in our options. We have something uh, around less than 1 million. I think it's closer to 600,000 on wallets on Ton, and close to 400,000 on Base altogether. I'm talking about the tokens that concentrated somewhere on the wallets, not inside the platform. Therefore, all these displaying from the side of the Tone blockchain, it's good as the internal place of the figures, I don't know. But let's be oriented on our common helicopter point of view on all the tokens that we see and know about our smart contracts. So this report will be at Monday. And Monday, let's choose the time which will be comfortable for all the participants. I think if it will be in at 3 p.m. Central European time, it will be okay. We will make this communication with our community under the record. Then it will be possible to send to all the participants from other locations. So you will be informed about the exact amount of tokens in circulation, how much on the platform, how much in staking. So all these questions will be closed, right?
Amazing. Thank you so much, sir. Lastly, sir, staking offer. With respect to further creating scarcity, with respect to creating further scarcity of our digital assets, I'm aware that there's a possibility for us to have more staking offers. Currently, we have a staking offer of 135 days for 256% BTN rewards. I believe if you can have a more fixed or locked staking offers where we do not have access to our BTN every Tuesday, where it is permanently locked for the duration, but maybe with a juicy offer or juicy BTN return or whatever, further can also help our ecosystem and our project, where people can also have diversification of choice, and that can further bring more scarcity to our project. I believe it's something you are considering. I'm trying to look into your eyes and see what's going on in the Ivan avatar artificial intelligence right now. So I'm trying to see what you're thinking and where your mind is going. So I
Uh,
think it will bring diversification, it will bring options, it will bring flavor to our project, and it will further create scarcity. Thank you, sir. That's the end.
Coach K, thank you for these ideas. You again bring me to the understanding that our tight relationship with the community makes a lot of positive influence, really a lot of positive influence. Because to create a supermarket of stakings, a product line of different stakings, it's really good in terms of attempts to meet expectations from the side of different users with different horizons of actions, different temperament, let's call it this way. And in my eyes, you can see just a joy from the understanding that we're moving forward with one more really good idea. And have to admit, no, we were not concentrated on the questions if it's possible to implement such type of the different type of stakings. We were concentrated on different things, but that's okay. That's why we working together. So, Coach K, thank you very much for this idea. Now we have definitely positive thing. Mr. Answorth, I really see your hand raise up, but I do remember that in our chat we did to receive some questions that requires an attention from my side. So let me now switch on questions in our chat in a Zoom call, and after that I'll come back to you and we will talk about your question. Thank you very much, guys, for active Q&A session. I really appreciate for this because I believe that this is the way how we may proceed to the future effective development. Okay, let me check. Uh, I will I will answer on the question from the side of Mr. Shadrach really shortly. Yes, yes, sir. I not trying to say I mean it. Blockchain is a system that takes record of transaction between users. Actually, that's the nature of blockchain. That's was exactly the idea why blockchains were created as the technical solution. Mr. Abraham, your question, when will the price of BTN 225 on the algorithm match up with the reality price of BTN on Uniswap at the screener? Oh, really good question. Guys, I think that this question need to be definitely addressed not to me, because if you will ever listen to somebody who said that I do know that tech team informed me like insider information that the price on a Uniswap will be equal to the level of 2.25 in next week or in other period of time. It's definitely something really close to lie because no one is able to predict the future. No one. It's completely depends from the activity from the side of traders, from the current situation on the market. Right now, a cryptocurrency market completely in the shocked position from in terms of different influence from the real world. But in our case, the middle term perspectives of the tokens, and that's the things at which you need to pay attention on, completely built on a good expectations about the price development, because we have more than enough factors that shows that the future tokens in circulation, number of tokens in circulation, will be much lower than the demand on these tokens from the side of different players, starting from validators and ending by the just token holders or liquidity providers or whatever. So that's the answer on your question. And this the price on a Uniswap, I think, will be completely different after the implementation of our web app in full size, and it's a unique opportunity for everybody who do have free assets to collect these tokens from Uniswap with really comfortable level of the price, and by this to receive a super profit in the future when all the sixes on the price will came to the reality. And trust me, I saw a lot of trade desks in my life. I saw a lot of traders in my life, and I can tell you, you can't be sure when exactly it will happen. It may came to you immediately in a second. Therefore, whenever you have in common understanding of the fact that BTN good instrument, you need to use current level of the price as the entry point. Don't wait more, because every next second chances goes down to keep or to catch good price. That's just my recommendation, not financial advice. Of course, we will never provide our users with anything that could be considered as the financial advice. Whenever we're saying about our tokens that it's a good digital asset, it's just a reflection of our efforts, because these BTN tokens, it's a part of our day-to-day fights, our work that we lead quite long period of time. We do know what is the potential inside this project, and we do know what will be in the future because we work under these plans. It's just our opinion, nothing more. You need to point decision by your own. All right. Next question from the side of Nicole Yins. Appreciate the work being done of the BitTON network. However, I'd like to respectfully raise concern about the 10,000 BTN validator entry requirement, which is quite high for many community members who are willing and ready to participate but do not hold large amounts of BTN. I kindly ask that you consider lowering the entry stake or introducing a more flexible option to allow broader. Oh, really, really good comment, because this is one of the most sensitive questions that we checked. And if you were in on our previous workshops, I mentioned that one of the scenario that was in our active discussion field, and that we check by the stress tests, was a scenario with the two different levels of validators, one with the lower amount of barrier, these BTNs that need to be accumulated, and the second with this level of 10,000. I have to say that we have a couple of variants, scenarios, how to make accessible for different people with lower amount of BTNs for the to be connected to validator's work. We want to check this carefully, and I think that till the end of current month, this additional options or alternative option to become a validator will be provided for our community, and we will be happy to receive your feedback if it suits. Right now, we have this system. It's definitely works in terms of the stress tests. So let's move step by step. Okay, and the last question from Mr. Shadrach, if new investors stop join the BitTON project, how will the system continue to generate value and pay rewards to existing users? And I'm a little bit shocked, Mr. Shadrach, because uh, I don't think that BitTON.AI as a project was ever created for the purposes to make some motivation of one investors to receive something at the expense of next investors. We are the project that building a blockchain, and all our materials, presentations that we did before about collaborations that we are doing, Wattstop, Kilowatt, work of the blockchain, gas fee. We have a pool with quite active trades. Of course, I'm not 100% satisfied about the amount of trading volume I can see on pool at Uniswap, but it's just difference between 50,000 to 140,000 per day. But it's the very beginning of the project. We are not standard project in terms of huge expenses for a marketing campaign and a lighter, huge lighter that we create on a market for the purposes to ask everybody, all bonus hunters, all hackers, all social engineer hackers to came to us and start doing the bullshit, sorry for my words, with the price on the token or whatever, because such type of the activity it's normal for pump and dump projects, for rock phones or whatever. We are building step by step, carefully, a completely sustainable long-term project with the real functions, real business on the background of this project, even on the first concept, and that leads us to the things that mostly people on this market don't even try to do. That leads us to something that all of us can be proud to build. Therefore, an answer on your question, we don't worry about this because this is completely different design. All right. And Mr. Antwerps, my promise to you was to listen to your question, and we will close after your questions Q&A session for today, and we will be almost in a perfect timing. The things that I like more, a perfect timing, just in time. Mr. Ainsworth, please unmute yourself, and I'm listening carefully to your question.
Right, so thank you, Ivan. All right, so first, before my question, I just want to add that if Shadrach was listening this workshop, that all the things that have been put in place, the um, power plant, the WhatsApp game, the blockchain in development, they are things that are going to generate value for every one of us who are currently here right now to understand that value is not persons coming in to stake to get reward, but the value that is being created is us having an opportunity, and I think a lot of persons are missing this, having an opportunity to be in a project at the very beginning that is similar, if not greater than Bitcoin. And Bitcoin became what it is because there were persons who were at the beginning that believed that it could become something and held on to the tokens until it became something. And and we have more value here that is in this ecosystem more than most tokens that I've seen on the market. And so I just wanted to add that before I ask my question. So my question is, from the very outset of hearing about the validators, I've often hear we speak about having, at least 2.1 million validators, 2.1 million validators. But with the amount of tokens that each validators are required to have in this, and I just heard you answer in terms of there might be other variations coming up. But just looking at the numbers before you answered that question, I'm not seeing how it is possible. So I'm just kind of wondering, is it
It
that
is.
when you become a validator,
It
um,
is possible. So sorry that to interrupt you, but that's you managed to uh, touch the most sensitive question, and that was the core fight between us and AI.
okay,
Listen to arguments from the side of AI, and finally, Master Chef managed to make us believe that yes, it's completely correct. Argument number one: this is not a burn-in process of the tokens. It's just a lockup period for 180 days. Argument number two: for the purposes to become a validator, you need to be even in a row, in a waiting position for every next new position of validator that will be possible to be occupied from the side of new candidate for this. Let's go in this way. Third, decreasing of the entire amount of tokens that necessary for the purposes to have as the barrier may create situation in which, especially on initial stage of the project development, we will be under the huge risk of the 51% attack, which is important to avoid. And because of quite easy ability to accumulate a small amount of tokens from different sources on a pool and to jump into a big number of validators points in one at the same time, and then to make a synchronization. So it was, especially on the initial stage, really big question that possible to be solved by high level of barrier. In this case, we will be definitely possible to go through. And the last, this is not constant system. That means that after the first wave of validators that will be appointed in our project, a system will check every next epoch if we have new conditions that can provide us with the other results. Why this 10,000 barrier will never be decreased? Because this is an effective way how to fight against the occupation, which is good. But the work based on the scoring system from the side of users and holders of tokens in voting process, in work of DAO, in our pool, in our other products may be considered as the way how to make all this process much more affordable. Inclusively, collective validators points. It means that some of a group of validators could be accumulated, let's say, in one state in India, right? So one main representative from the side of these people will just accumulate all these 10,000 of BTNs for the purposes to open a validator's point, and then the result of it will be distributed between all his collective, like Groupon style. All these things are completely possible and not so difficult to be implemented. But from the stability, sustainability point of view, that was the core decision from the side of AI. But as far as I understand, that was not the only question from your side. Am I right? Mr. Langsford.
Yes, that was the main question, and I thank you for the understanding. Now, the second part of the question is that after the stake of the 180 days, yes, will the tokens will be returned to the person who is a validator, and are
Yeah,
they
of
do have to
course. Yes, of course, after the lock-in period, tokens will be available for this validator. It's not a burn-in, it's just a lockup period plus 21 day of this small pause after that to exclude any big waves on the price pressure. And we believe that up to that moment, it will be not a big problem to work with the external DEXs. So I don't think that we will have any problems with the liquidity for validators activity tokens. Guys, I'm so sorry. I see, Isaac, your hands up. I think that we will have one more opportunity to talk about this Tuesday, and if it will be relevant initiative from the side of our community or any requests, we may organize in addition an AMA session in written form at Monday. So please, if you have any questions, collect these questions. This is a pressure for us. Trust me, I really like to work with these questions. And what is the most important, we are not simply listening to these questions. We take these questions into our work. You are our management in this case. But timing is important for our work, and we need to be in time in all our actions. So thank you very much for participation in this workshop. It was really good. I'm really happy to see you all here, and I wish you good weekend. Let's stay in touch, and don't forget to buy your BTNs on Uniswap because it's a perfect price. Have a nice weekend. See you at Monday. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Thank you, Ivan. You have done a good job.
Thank you, Isaac. Thank you. We're doing our best.